Episode number 2 of one of the most unfocused podcasts you'll probably ever listen to. This is Pod Caviar, and I am your host, Tony, or not having it, if you remember me from my Game Caviar days, Game Caviar on YouTube. I can get back on it. I haven't done videos in a while, but I can do it. I could do it. See, right there, I sound like one of those dudes that who peaked in high school, but have never let go of that or never accepted it. It's like, what's the dude's name in Napoleon Dynamite, the uncle? Well, he was outside and he was like, I could toss that football over that mountain. It sounds cool, but I don't know. He tossed the fuck out of that steak though. That was fun. If you ever seen Napoleon Dynamite, watch that shit because that shit is hilarious. There's a lot of cult movies that people haven't seen, and I do a lot of references either just all the time. When I was in the military, sometimes we had a lot of downtime, especially when we were deployed. You know, there just wasn't anything to do, so we used to watch movies, and we only had a little bit of movies. We didn't have unlimited movies, so and a lot of us grew up watching the same movies. So you got Goonies and all the old 80s movies. I talked about movies last time. I love movies. I'll watch movies all day. But the biggest thing is we all connected through those sayings. And you ever have a group of friends where you just connect through something, not necessarily movies, but it just brings you closer together. But anyway, if you haven't already subscribed to the podcast, press that subscribe button. I know for a fact that this podcast is available on Apple, iTunes. You can find it through the podcast app. Or you can just go through iTunes and search for it. I'm pretty sure it'll show up. And it's also available through Google Play. Everybody that has listened to the first episode has really shown me a lot of love and praise. I'm still working on the music thing. This is why this is a different track. This track is actually called Slow Fight by Noah T. You can find his music on bandcamp.com. I will link all that shit in the description for this episode. But yeah, if I can just, I don't know. I would like it if I could showcase a new track every episode, or damn near every episode. That'd be awesome. But at the same time, I'm not really worried about the music because it is not what the focus of the podcast is. The focus of this podcast is to be as unfocused as possible. Like I said in the first episode, I don't really have an agenda. I just talk about stuff. And that's why I made it once a week. Go through the week and then go through the week and then you talk about what happened during the week, you know? This week, let's see. Here's something that I wanted to get into. As I stated before, I think when I'm supposed to be asleep. My mind is going a billion miles per hour. And I was thinking, and this is outside of the box. I can't be the only person that has thought about this. What if Earth is part of one of those MLM pyramid schemes? No, don't turn it off yet. Don't turn the podcast off yet. What if Earth was part of one of those pyramid schemes that God had got conned into joining? And the only reason why we know that we have life on Earth and we don't know whether there's life on other planets, and there's never been any really, it hasn't been proven that there's life on other planets, is because when God sold his package, he had that one friend. You always got to have that one friend that will support you no matter what. And that friend supported God through his journey, is what they call it. Climbing to the top of that pyramid in Earth is what that friend got. I know what you're thinking. A lot of people think, a lot of people will say, well, there's got to be life somewhere. There's got to be life out there. There's got to be life out there. Got to be life out there. But see, here's the thing. We have our galaxy, which is the Milky Way. And let's say that, okay, Earth is the only planet that has life that we know of. Maybe there are life that we haven't found yet. Maybe they live under the planet. I don't know. But we have a lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us, we worship a God. And the God has different names, which is fine. But to prevent myself from being too controversial, because this is just, like I said, this is just a wild thought. We're just going to say God, okay? I know you may have a different God than mine, but let's just say God. Let's say the one friend who supported this, allowed us to be here. What if they have their own little thing in a different galaxy? And maybe they got more planets that have life on them because they got better friends. Who knows? You have to think outside the box, man. And this is another thing that I want to talk about. If you come to this podcast and you want facts and you want actual, like, I don't know, this isn't a news podcast. This is strictly comedy. I do this because it's amazing that I have this platform to say damn near whatever I want to say. I mean, just listen to what I just said. Is Earth part of God's pyramid scheme, MLM, journey? I'm going to say some crazy things. And I'm not going to get too off the wall or whatever, to the point of where I don't think that saying that Earth is part of a higher level MLM scheme is going to offend that many people unless you're part of an MLM scheme, which if it's working out for you, it's working out for you. Hey, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's all good. This particular episode of Pod Caviar is sponsored by Shirt Caviar, shirtcaviar.com. The designs are free, but the shirts will cost you about $20-ish. The reason why I'm glad I have that company. I'm glad I have so many things, because I want to have sponsors in the beginning. I mean, not in the beginning, but as I get along and have more episodes under my belt, you can sponsor an episode for $20, 20 entire dollars. Just let me know. That way, you're supporting my brand, I support your brand, and then it's all good. But this particular episode, and episode number 1, is being sponsored by Shirt Caviar, shirtcaviar.com. Buy some shirts, because I'm tired of working a 9 to 5. I just want to make shirts and podcast and be happy. Anyway, moving on. One thing that I came across in my journey to help me fall asleep better without the use of medication, which I am really against in most forms, was this weird thing. And I don't think it's new, but I just came across it. Hold on. It's called ASMR. And it's cool, but at the same time, it is really fucking weird. You can search for these videos on YouTube, or you can search for the individual tracks or different tracks on like Spotify. Like I found them on Spotify. And all it is you put your headphones in. It's not going to work if you don't have headphones. And you got to put your headphones in, and they do these things where, like, I'm on YouTube right now, and it's like, let's see. It's weird shit. Brain melting, sleep treatment. Like the one on Spotify is like, track number one was, and this is so weird. They get real close to the microphone. They're like, I'm going to give you a hand massage. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I want to go to sleep. I don't want a hand massage. That sounds cool. But the sounds is really what got me, because you hear everything and it's amplified. So when they put the lotion on their hands, just imagine you put lotion on your hands, you probably would hear it. If you put a lot of lotion, you hear the smacking and shit. Amplify that times 100, and then put that sound, shoot it directly into your ear so that it's there. It is there, and it's there, and it's just there. And for the life of me, I don't understand the appeal for that, but everybody has different things that they like. I understand that, but I'm just saying that it's really not for me. It's really weird. Like, you got to try it out. You got to look at it. Go on YouTube or Spotify or whatever you use, and make sure you have headphones on, and just go and search for ASMR videos or tracks. This top one was Flu Doctor Checkup. No. Oh my God. And it says soft spoken. I like ambient sound. The ambient sound CDs or albums or whatever, I like those. This is not ambient sound. This was like, what the fuck? Who wants to hear about a Flu Doctor Checkup? This has 5 different slime triggers. That means they're going to be close to the microphone playing with slime for an hour. Wow, this video was an hour. Cool. All right. That's all right. I don't get it. But, hey, like I said, check it out. If you think it's cool, if you like it, let me know. Let me know what you think. I mean, hell, maybe that can help somebody else go to sleep. I know I'm not the only one that has sleep issues. And a lot of times, it doesn't happen every night, but when it happens, it's like, But at the same time, it does give me a lot of things to talk about on this podcast, such as in the first episode, can you eat chickens and roosters? And I know there's some, chicken snob out there was like, the hens and roosters. All right? Your chickens, or the hens and roosters. But everybody knows what the fuck I'm talking about when I say chicken and a rooster, okay? Roosters are actually assholes. I saw a video of a rooster chasing a kid down, and the kid just went into, he fell down on the ground and went into a fetal position and covered his head and his face, and the rooster was just stomping the shit out of him. It was like a fucking gang initiation. I was like, holy shit. I get that you love animals and you don't want to kick animals, but I'm just saying that you could probably kick a rooster and nobody's going to bat an eye. All right? It's not a dog. It's not a dog. It's not actually, you probably can kick a dog depending on how much of an asshole the dog is. I'm not saying no names. All I'm saying is that you can kick a rooster. You can punt a fucking rooster and nobody's going to give a shit, because they are assholes, especially for people who are not morning people like myself. If I hear a fucking rooster in the morning, I'm going to be all sorts of pissed off. I don't even like it when my dog wakes me up in the morning. He knows better. He's asleep right now. You don't even hear him because he's knocked the fuck out. And I'm surprised you can hear him, because this microphone picks up everything. Before I started recording, I could hear the fucking birds chirping outside. My window's not open. I can hear the damn refrigerator come on. I can hear the deep freezer come on. I can hear moths farting. I mean, it is unbelievable how good this Blue Snowball microphone is. I'm sitting up here right now watching NASCAR. I'm sorry, this is what the silence is. I love racing, competitive racing. Everybody says that NASCAR is boring because they just go in a circle on an oval or whatever. It's really cool. I guess they changed the scoring setup or whatever. I don't know. But these fucking wrecks are crazy. Can you imagine? Okay, you're a NASCAR driver. You have sponsors. You've been trained. You've made it to the fucking Daytona 500, which is the biggest race in the NASCAR season. Their first race of the season is the biggest race. So you do all that, and you get in your car, they do the Star Spangled, they sing the national anthem, and then they do all this. They do the flyby by like F-22 Raptors and shit, and like maybe somebody parachutes down with American flag, and everybody's woo woo America, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do this. Woo! You get in your car, and then they go in there, racers, start your engine. You start your car. You get out there, and you fucking doing your little practice, your warm-up laps. They wave the green flag, and then on the first fucking lap, you wreck, and then that's the end of your race. Imagine that. Just sit down and imagine that. Just imagine how, and you don't even have to be a race car driver. Imagine you've been going to school for you're almost graduating, and it's like a tough ass degree too. Like, I don't know, fucking mathematics, is that a degree? Calculus, can you do that? Something, I don't know, just something, psychology. Okay, let's say you're doing that, and you've been doing it, and you're about to graduate, and you're looking forward to it, and then one day you log on to your website for your school to check your grades and shit, and the website is down. You go to the campus and it's locked down. They're like, well, this school is fucking closed and we don't know what to tell you guys. You could transfer, but you're going to have to start from scratch. It's pretty much the same thing. This is like, what's his name? Odysseus? Is that his name? Is that the guy who was, he was plagued to always carry the rock up the mountain, but then when he got to the top of the mountain, the rock would just go back down. It would roll back down to the bottom of the mountain, and that's what he was. That was his curse. Like, he had to keep doing that over and over again. I'm not saying that every race or things like that happen all the time, but it takes one time for you to really step back and say, shit. It might not seem that big of a deal. Maybe I'm just over exaggerating this as far as NASCAR goes, or any racing, or anything like that, because they have a whole season, but you got to go through so much, and each track is different. So you do practice runs, you have to do all this shit. It's a lot of things that just are in place. So what if you go out there and then I've seen this shit. Like, I've been watching the race. It didn't happen on the first lap, but then it was like within the first 50 or 60 laps or some shit. There were some guys that were like, and girls. They have girls that race, but there were some racers that were just out of the fucking race, and they're not even at the halfway point. That's a tough pill to swallow. Oh well. I think that I'm gonna do one episode where I remember when I went with Sports with a capital F, Graham and I, we had some drinks beforehand, and it really made it fun. But at the same time, he was like, you got to find that good ground where you fucking, you're like, you're toasty, but you're not burnt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that, and I like that, and I think that it'd be great. I probably do it if I have a guest on here. I would definitely have Graham on here. Anytime, like, I've known him for a long ass time, since like what, 01, 02? And we've always been able to create, and just as we get together on his podcast, I was on the episode on his, he can come over here and he could be on the episode of Pod Caviar, and it would be great, that back and forth, that discussion, everything. If you haven't checked it out yet, Sports with a capital F, that's his show. You can, I think it's Cap F Sports is the website, or you can go on YouTube and look up Sports with a capital F. He has a really good show. He actually has a hotline when people call up and then they ask him questions or rant about shit, and then he plays it on the show. And I'm thinking about doing that. I'm thinking about swagger jacking that off of him. It sounds really good. That sounds awesome. I'd like to have that whole interaction with people who listen to the podcast and have them ask you questions and shit like that. That's really cool. And one of the things that he said in his last episode was, you got to stay fresh. You can't just be stuck in the mud. And I'm always looking for ways to further the brand, further the show. And I think that I'm going to be able to do that in the future and not be stale, but at the same time, not move too far from where I'm at right now. Because if you strip all of the extra stuff away, the music, the music, the hotline, guest interaction with people, you get just one thing: me, a microphone, a computer, and my mind, my thoughts, and what I have to say. And I know that I'm not going to be getting 1 million views and 1 million subscribers. I learned that through YouTube, Pod Caviar. If I get 5 people that will consistently listen to the show, give me feedback, let me know what's good, let me know what they like, I'll be happy. I mean, it is what it is. But I'd rather do that than to be that person that says, man, I could start a podcast. I could start a podcast. And then that turns into, I should have started that podcast. Fuck it. This is real life lessons right here. Try something, fail, keep going. Know when to walk away. I mean, I'm not going to be an Olympic sprinter. If I wanted to be, I would try to be. I wanted to start a podcast, and here I am. And I love it. And this is sustainable. This really is sustainable. This is something that I can continue to do. So this is what I'm going to do. And there are going to be times where, just going back to Pod Caviar, there were some videos that I made that were absolute shit. You're not going to always knock it out of the park. Sometimes you're going to fucking pop fly. Sometimes you're going to strike out. Sometimes you're going to get hit by a pitch and just walk on down to first base. It happens. That's life, though. And anybody who knows me knows that I've been through a lot of shit. And I'm still here. So, little words of encouragement from old Tony here. That you can succeed if you have the determination. Even a half a step forward is still a step forward. And a lot of things you'll be able to do by yourself, but it helps that if you have a team around you, and not just a team, but the right team. People that will tell you when you're fucking up. People that will tell you when you're doing good. People that you trust. People that have been there. That also helps. But I don't want to get on a long ass rant about that. I just want to drop some knowledge. Oh, wait, we're 23 minutes in already? Oh, man, this is sweet. Like, it's really crazy. Snippy, hey, that's my dog / personal assistant. Hey, are you excited about this podcast? You just dozed back off. Cool. All right, employee of the month right there, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, let's see. What else did I have to talk about? I don't think I had anything else to talk about. I talked about the Earth being part of an MLM scheme, NASCAR. Oh, I dropped some knowledge. What else is there to talk about? Nothing. Oh, shit. Black Panther came out this week. I went and saw it with my kids. It was an amazing movie. Easily it was an instant favorite. I mean, watching it and seeing how it's really a big deal for us, the African American community, or the blacks, however you want to be, however you want to categorize yourself. But for our culture, it was a really big deal to have that cast come together, that storyline, and to see how many people were just happy to see that. There's a meme that was going around on Twitter that was like, Everybody, there's always somebody who will talk shit no matter what. But people saying, why y'all doing so much? Why y'all being so extra? It's because we're happy to see a movie where our people are not portrayed as slaves, gangsters. And there was something else. There was a lot of times we were always seen as the negative. And we were tired of that shit. Because it's not really a 100% true representation of how we are in real life. So I know slavery existed. Everybody knows that. Although there are certain people out there, a certain demographic that would love for us to just forget that it happened, but we're not. There are certain things that we're just tired of seeing our people as on the big screen. So yes, this is a great movie. Yes, people dressed up. Yes, people were celebrating the culture. Yes, we had a good time. Yes, there were cheers. Yes, there were claps, and they were just. It was when I went to see it, and I'll probably see it again. Actually, there wasn't anything too annoying or obnoxious. There was laughter, there was cheering, there was clapping. People were genuinely happy to be there, seeing that and enjoying the moment and taking it all in. And for the people who have a problem with how some individuals went to the movies dressed up essentially in African garments, it's no different than dressing up as a wizard for Harry Potter. It's no different than let's say they remake Apollo 13 and you go as an astronaut. I mean, people have done this. People do this all the time. If a movie comes out, when Twilight came out, motherfuckers were dressed up as werewolves and vampires. Star Wars comes out, you're Darth Vader, or Luke Skywalker, you're Jedi or Sith, you're whatever, People dress up as Star Trek characters when Star Trek came out. It doesn't happen that much. I'm not going to talk about Star Trek. It's kind of, Quentin Tarantino should do the next Star Trek movie. But you get what I'm saying, is that people who love a certain series or get a certain feeling out of a movie, they will dress up and enjoy themselves, and they have every right to fucking do that. And if you have a problem with it, take your feelings, write them down, and then take that paper and shove it up your ass, because nobody gives a fuck. This is 2018. People are I've seen this thing where they want our country to be so divided, but the more they try to push us apart, the more we come together. And people are more free now to express themselves any way they want to be expressed, or however they want to express themselves. And it's a beautiful thing. And it'll continue to be that way because there's no going back. Rarely ever has society went backwards, We are meant to continue moving forward. And this is where we're at. So, all right, this has been episode 2 of Pod Caviar. Once again, please subscribe. You can find this on iTunes and Google Play. For now, those are the only 2 platforms that this will be on, this show. You can also look at some of my older, my other projects, Game Caviar on YouTube. You can support me by buying t-shirts from Shirt Caviar, shirtcaviar.com, and on Facebook, simply search for Shirt Caviar, and you can find the page right there. Like I said, the music this week was what's the guy's name? Damn, my bad. Noah T, and the song was called Another Round. I will link his music in the description. You can find it on Bandcamp, and it is royalty free. The guy just said, buy it and just let me know. Just link me so I can find it, and that's what I plan on doing. Royalty free music is amazing, and You pay $5 for a track that you can keep using. Yeah, I'm good for that. Hopefully, I can get some sponsors rolling in, and I can really get this thing going. And if you have any ideas or any topics that you want me to discuss in future episodes, just let me know. You can hit me up. Find me. You can find me on Twitter. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm going to put my Twitter info in the description. And if you just have something that you want me to talk about or want to give feedback, let me know. And then I will take it from there. But anyway, I got to get out of here and edit this video, or not video, but this podcast. And thank you for listening. I'm out.